But coming back to that, about technical challenges of making of enabling TV everywhere, what are the key, and again, start with you, Darren, you're getting video around the homes, etc. What are the key challenges to that?
So, the managed service gateway is fundamental, first of all, in getting that content into the home, and then that serving as a portal to the pay TV and service operators' content and applications, etc. For me, home networking now is coming of age. I think the technologies are there to enable whole home networking. I think the economics are right in terms of the price points. And so I think that the next step now will be to ensure that we can line up all the ducks, technology, monetization of it for the pay TV operators, and the software to combine all of those and give a whole home experience that is consistent with that same experience that they've been receiving on a traditional linear TV.
And you guys now got a relationship with Freesat and moving into that sphere.
Yeah.
Again, it's an assumption it's just going to happen. How difficult is that to address every platform where content's coming in and making sure that consistent experience happens?
How difficult is it? I guess I didn't understand the question. How difficult is it
to ensure the experience, to make for the average Freesat customer that it does what it says on the tin?
Yeah, I mean, I think, broadly speaking, I think Sling Loaded, which is basically taking Sling inside another hardware device, this one just happens to be ours with Freesat on top, makes the user experience and the setup and everything else very easy. I think agnostically, where we sell boxes in retail, for example, people then have to set them up and they have to get them working. I think once it's all in the box, what we call Sling Loaded, much like Sling Inside is like Intel Inside, right? And once we OEM kit, I think the setup and the actual way you consume it is very straightforward because it works out of the box. There's no setup, so I think there's no challenge really for the users there. The use cases around where they might use it are slightly different when you address the Freesat market, because we're moving now away from the geeks and the guys who go to the gadget stores, right? We're now in the mass market of TV consumption.
Absolutely.
So I think it'd be really interesting to see how it works, but I'm holding faith in it for sure.
What type of faith do you have? How do you see things being different? You say you're moving into a new environment.
Well, I mean, firstly, I think we. Again, going back to the geek sector, right? That's where we were. We then won a bunch of awards from different companies that meant that we were going out. Cab drivers are huge fans of what we do because they have idle time on their hands, they have phones, they have sling boxes at home. So I think what we will see with Freesat is that in retail, at least, we'll get a completely different customer because we're moving away from the geek section of the store into TV and audio. And that's a completely different customer. And I think if you couple that with the fact that there's no setup of this device, you don't really need the geek element, right? It's a box that you plug in and you're ready to go. So I think, we'll be in a good place now that we've moved into that section.
I was going to come back to Chris on this one about making sure things happen out the box. We'll come to your specialisation in a minute, but how typical or how difficult is that? Because there's a huge expectation. You're selling the concept of out the box.
This is our specialization because we have a bit of a different perspective than Pace and Sling Media, because most of our customers are offering over-the-top services. And in that situation, there is no setup at home. Customers are simply doing what they're doing every day, and that's downloading an app and running it, whether it be on their smartphone, their tablet, or their PC. And so that's something that they're quite familiar with and works very well. So we've got customers like Viasat and Sky Germany and Comcast and Foxtel who are all offering applications, whether they be on these tablets or on game consoles or on connected TVs, where it appears in the menu, you click it and you get your content. So nothing could be easier than that. The challenge then, of course, is on the head-end side. How do you set it up to make that as efficient and cost-effective as possible? And that's what our broadband systems are capable of doing, is really optimizing the workflow. So you take input from the broadcast stream or the VOD server and you get it out to any device without any additional manual intervention.